Here we are for the Wisdom Dialogue Day, June 24th, 2025. And I'm here with Ervin Laszlo and Carita Laszlo. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Carita.
Hi, Nora.
Hi, Ervin.
Hello, Nora. Good to have you here.
So, we're gonna do a little bit of chatting, maybe. We would like to hear your ideas on peace, and ideally on two questions. First is how can we individually and collectively elevate peace in the world in different ways, personally, socially, globally? What do you think about that, and what role does wisdom play in that, in your opinion? Erwin, Carita, whichever.
Well, let me start and then give it to Carita.
No, don't give it to me. You say.
Yes, I start. I start.
Yes, you
Yes,
start.
yes, yes, yes. Okay. Well, that is the big question, the biggest question that people have ever asked. Peace is necessity. It's a necessity. Now it's a survival necessity. We are all living on the same planet, in the same space, same airspace, same wisdom space. To live here, we need to change our ways to be sustainable, to be peaceful and working, living with each other rather than next to each other or competing with each other. That doing alone is not enough. You have to live like a family. We live very well as a family here with Carita, for example, with me. And that means that when what I do, she hears and she responds, is feeling. And what she does, I respond to. We have to live with each other, through each other, and not just some side by side. So I am extremely fortunate to have had Carita on my company as a companion all this time, all these years. And I would like her to say a few words about what she feels is really the most important thing in our relationship in regard to peace and living together, enjoying each other in a way that everybody else can also benefit from. Carita, just say a few words.
Yes. Peace for us means giving each other all the love that we feel and at the same time receiving without expecting anything, actually. I want to give Erwin what I feel that he needs, and that's really an answer to it. And there is no way of how shall I say?
Compensating just.
Yes, exactly. Compensating or trying to improve things by, let's say, giving material things that never has anything to do with giving love, giving attention, uh, uh, giving the needs that the other person needs. You have to be very sensitive to each other, and that's it.
You live wholeheartedly without expecting the quid pro quo. There is nothing that in return that one wants. One lives together in with love and in love because that's the way we want to exist. And I know that that is also what is benefiting people around us. Everybody benefits in a relationship where people truly live together, share their own resources, share their time, their life. Everybody around them also shares because life is actually a communal, a conjoined enterprise. We don't live in a vacuum. We live in a planet with people. And now the with of the people is practically all of humanity because we all shifted into the same visual space. And this is now the new reality. What I do and what I intend influences now not just the people around me, but in a fine and subtle way influences everybody on the planet. Quantum science tells us that we're all connected instantly. And that means that whatever we do, however we live, is of concern, not just of an external concern, it's a concern to everybody, all of us on living on a planet. That's the big news, which we don't sufficiently take into account. We are one on a planet. We have to live like one, otherwise we'll all suffer and we'll all disappear in turn. This is a planet. This is planet that is highly interdependent, highly interactive, a sharing planet, which can only be further developed if we continue sharing ourselves.
I actually love the fact that Carita is wearing a shirt that says "Whisper words of wisdom." Oh, let it be. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
the Beatles song, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm just telling the audience this was not planned for the Wisdom Day. This was not planned.
Yeah.
It's just how things worked. Here we are for the Wisdom Dialogue Day, and Carita is wearing a wisdom
Yeah. Right.
t-shirt. It's perfect. I love that. So what is wisdom, Carita?
Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
What is wisdom? Hmm. You mustn't ask me questions of that. Ask Ervin.
No,
Oh,
Carita knows it better.
that's
Okay.
good.
So on this question, I'll take the first answer. Then Carita continues. Wisdom to me is to understand who we are, or what we are, you might say, how we relate to others. What is this thing called life? These are the biggest questions. Are we alone here, or are we joined by others? Wisdom is to live wisely. That means living like human beings should live on the planet. How we have been created. We have been created as sensitive, individual human beings, conscious beings, who have this incredible endowment of being conscious of what is happening to us, not just picking it up, but also being able to reflect on it and perhaps to improve on it. Wisdom is to live like we can, like a human being can, wisely, in recognition of our true nature. We are social animals. We are basically wise animals. If we could allow our wisdom to shine forth, we are here to live, to evolve, and to help others live and evolve. That is our job. That is our task, our sacred mission as conscious human beings.
Wisdom to me is on a, on a much more on a smaller scale, let's say, on personal, where each one of us gather more knowledge and experience, and using that in a good way, in a positive way. That is wisdom to me.
Thank you, Carita.
Welcome.
It's and I love the t-shirt. It's just so funny how you're wearing it. It's
Yeah.
just now. And finally, we have one more thing that we could discuss is that the right now the element of air is the symbol and sort of the metaphor they are using at the Wisdom Dialogue Day. The question was basically, what is air and how does air help to elevate peace in the world? Maybe what kind of wisdom does air hold, or how do you define air? Why do we need air? Basically, a deeper meaning for it. Erwin?
A very, very important question, Nora. I'd like to address it briefly. Air is, on the popular parlance, nearly equivalent to zero, to nothing. You see, people say that's just air. It says there's no meaning. And like air would be nothing. Like air is more than nothing. I think air is together with light, is everything, everything for human beings on the planet. We are children of flows of air. What we hear is a flow of air. What we speak creates another flow of air. But the meaning that we attach to any sound depends on us, and the sound itself is a flow of air. Structured air, not a random air, structured air, such a way that what we hear is the result of another person or an animal or anything else in the immediate surroundings. Such a thing, this is what is going on in front of us and behind and with us, and that is what gives meaning to our life. We are denizens of structured air. Air flows. Air is never quiet. Air is always in movement, and air is imposing meaning. Air carries meaning when we endow it with meaning. Air is structured, not random. People structure it, animals structure it, the weather structures it, the universe structures it. Everything that is in us, around us, is a flow of air. The most important and interesting flow of air is what carries meaning, verbal meaning, but also symbolic meaning. There's a flow of air which is random, then it's just noise. There can be flows of air that are structured better to each other, to all of us, and then make sense, and then it's language. If it's structured melodiously in a way that is harmonious, then it's music. And what we are entities superimposed, created by and in a flow system of air. Air is all there is for us on this planet, and this planet is all there is for us for now in the universe. We are finding out more and more, and our vision is being enlarged all the time. But for the time being, in our immediate world, everything is a flow of air, which we perceive and creating systems, creating entities, creating oneness, creating plurality, creating conflict also. We need to organize the flows of air around us. A planet with a flow of air is a planet with an atmosphere. We are children of this atmosphere. And this is not nothing around us. It's not a nothing, it's an everything around us. This flow of air is structured so that it creates us, creates our people around us, creates everything that is meaningful, even creates chaos, but that cannot be sustained for long. So I would say air is fundamental. Air is to be part of a flow of air that is well structured, that is meaningful, that creates life, that creates vision, that creates being together. This is the role of air. It's not a nothing, it's an everything. And I think it's very wise to focus wisdom, the question of wisdom, on what is air. Because air is not just a substance. Air carries meaning. And air is something that connects us well or badly. The, the peace pipe carried by the Indians in ceremonial occasions shows how we can structure air through the tobacco that we choose. But air in the everyday context is how we structure air so that it creates sound, it creates music, it creates language. All that is that we do when we deal with the flow of air, which is the atmosphere of this planet. That is our home planet. And the flow of structured air that we are is the way this planet is created and is recreated always to more and more meaning, more and more diversity, and more harmony unless we destroy it. Being a denizen of planet Earth means being a part of a tremendously structured, beautifully structured flow of air that carries meaning and that gives life. That is our life, that is life of people around us, that is the life of nature around us. Very wise to think of air as fundamental. If there would not be air, we would not be here. But air is not something we can artificially create, not in a length of time, not in any degree of intensity. Air is something that is given to us by the universe. We take care of it, we structure it, we make it more meaningful. And that is, in a substantial way, the sole and biggest task, the sacred mission that we all have to live together as harmoniously as we can by structuring the flow of air that we are, that created us, and that we constantly create so that it can live for the benefit of all. We try to be a well-structured planet, and that is the path that we have in front of us. So I really welcome the question of what we make of air. Air is not nothing. Air is everything that is meaningful in this evolving universe. Thank you for the question, and I hope that it makes some sense to you.
Makes more than enough sense, Ervin. Thank you so much. I really liked when you said that it's like basically air is more of a medium that's connecting everything and to all things that evolve on the planet, and that it's basically that when we are looking for all the living beings that are living and evolving together in the universe, and basically the air is the what we are breathing, right? So breathing, and meaning that we are always breathing in, breathing out, and that has a deeper meaning as well, like the rejuvenation and repowering, something like that, right?
I'm so glad that you raised this, Nora, and that I'm sure Carita can also say some words about this, because breathing is an essential element of giving meaning. We mean, we breathe. And when we breathe together, when we breathe harmoniously, then we create community, then we create oneness. So air is not just survival. Air is meaning, giving oneness, becoming one, becoming whole. Air is all this because it is what we breathe, and what we breathe is what becomes us. We are what we breathe. This is a very profound and recognition, which is the great mystery schools, the great traditions, spiritual traditions have recognized, but we tend to forget it. We think that air is nothing because that we can just control it, we can create it artificially, we can move it around as we want. But air is not much more than that. It's a natural endowment. It's a gift that we receive on this planet.
We are what we breathe. I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Carita?
I think Ervin said it all.
Anything if you would like to add for this conversation about the World Wisdom Day, on the topic of air, or any other thing that you would like to share with the worldwide audience?
I congratulate the organizers because wisdom is what we need. It's not something abstract. It's not something that is just for the classroom or just something for holidays. Wisdom is what we need to survive and to thrive on the planet. And wisdom can be recognized as bit by bit as what it is that makes it connection to us. We are connected to each other, connected in a way that can be wise, that can turn out to be wise for all people around us. And that connection is given by air. It's also given by water, obviously. But air right now, as we discuss it, is the center of focus. it's a widely disregarded medium of connection. Air is what we need to live together, but to breathe together. And by breathing better, we live better. The Indians have known this, still know this. We need to recognize it. And occasion like the Wisdom Day can focus attention on this so that our breathing, our oneness is conveyed through streams of air, which is given to us by in the universe by physical nature. Spiritual reality is built on that physical nature as well. Everything that we have around us, physical nature is the nature of the universe, and we are natural beings in that universe.
Thank you, Ervin.